this Premier League Matchday 9 picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code PLGP. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Wednesday, October the 22nd. We are here to have a little look over the Premier League, the Champions League results. Champions League fixtures finished around about 10 minutes ago. And then we've got a full slate of Premier League action to get to. Joining us from somewhere in Nottinghamshire, this is going to be an all-timer, this, Mr. Barry Penaluna. So Barry's face popped on the screen about 10 seconds before we started recording. He just looked at me and went, ready. And I went, what's the matter with you? He went, knee crack, knee nothing, get on with it. So Barry, how you doing, son?
I'm all right. I'm very tired. I feel like I've been sat for the last 3 hours waiting to go to bed, but having to wait up to do this shite.
It's 20 past 10. Barry, why have you been waiting to go to bed?
Because I've got to be on the road at 5 o'clock in the morning to drive to fucking Stansted in a storm. 50 mile an hour winds. 50 mile an hour winds forecast for Stansted tomorrow morning. What's the chances of my flight going off on time?
Oh, no.
Proper sweat on over this flight. So we're at a gig tomorrow night. So if the flight gets cancelled or delayed significantly, we're in trouble. Like, so the weather.
Gig where? What are you on about?
Vienna tomorrow.
You're going to a gig in Vienna?
Yes.
How did you tell me this? I knew you were going away. I didn't know you were going to a gig.
Even Callum knows I'm going away. You fucking don't.
I knew you were going away, dickhead. I just didn't know you were going to a gig.
Flying to Vienna tomorrow. Gig tomorrow. Bratislava Friday, Budapest Saturday, come home Tuesday. That's the plan.
Right. So if that was me, Barry, I'd be in a slightly better mood. You know what I mean? You've nearly killed my buzz already after 3 minutes.
I'm just very tired. I'm very, very tired. And I've got to drive at 5 o'clock. That's all. I just like to get this done and get at least 5 hours sleep.
Oh, well. I've got loads of small talk, Barry.
Well, let's just put the Premier League picks out and I'll just leave you to have loads of small talk with yourself.
No, we'll do it at the end. My Pride of Britain award, I assume, is in the mail again, Barry. This is my second installment of 3 broadcasting back to back tonight. I've just finished Sport in Lisbon against Marseille. I did the commentary on that. Fucking annoyed me. I bet Marseille. I put it out as a little YouTube pick. Marseille were battering them. 1-0 up, right on the verge of half-time. Blow gets sent off for diving. What a prick. Second half, eventually, the 10 men told in Sport in Lisbon equalise, dodgy offside, and then score with a massive deflection. So red cards, it's been a little bit of a funny one for red cards. So, yeah, I finished that literally 12 minutes ago or something. I've come on to this with you, Barry, which I'm really enjoying. And then MLB World Series preview show will be on at 11:15 this evening, which is 6:15 Eastern time with me and D-Rock. There's a few people in the comments not very happy with Marseille or Palmieri either. Francis was cost a little bit of money. Marseille have cost Callum $2,000, he reckons. And Harry's just laughing at Emerson. We've got a few people in the chat tonight. Callum was first in. Cal, welcome. Michael Roberts, James Matthews here. Jason, hello from sunny Australia. Welcome. Harry's on his way back in 5 minutes. Chelsea. Frank G, as I mentioned. If you are here, by all means, say hello. The Champions League was fucking chaos, wasn't it, Barry?
Goals galore, wasn't it?
Gazillion goals last night.
I didn't see any of the Liverpool game, Malcolm. I saw they scored 5 and that bloke they spent loads of money on started up top. I assume he got on the score sheet, did he?
No, what happened was, Barry, he did absolutely fuck all and was hauled off at half-time in disgrace.
Oh, God, what a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame, yeah. So that's hopefully it wasn't a horrific injury, because that would be terrible. But yeah, goal, like, last night was uncompetitive. Like, we need to take advantage of this, Barry, as well, because, I mean, Barcelona 6, PSG 7, Arsenal got 4 tonight, Liverpool 5, Chelsea 5, Bayern 4. Just absolute goals galore all over the place. Some ridiculous red cards. That Olympiacos second red card was a joke. I saw one tonight, got rescinded because it was he gave the Sporting Lisbon fullback a straight red when he hadn't done anything. And my point is, you can't send the bloke off if you haven't seen him do anything. And you can't have seen him do anything because he fucking didn't do anything. So why have you sent him off in the first place? So the two blokes lie on the floor. Oh, I'm going to send you off. Oh, hang on, I'll just go and watch the telly. Oh, hang on, you didn't do anything. So why have you sent him off? What have you seen to send him off? Because you can't send someone off if you haven't seen him do anything, Barry. So the bloke just stood on the side with his arms folded for 90 seconds till the referee went and looked at the telly. He went, oh, actually, you can come back on. It was just preposterous. So, yeah, that was at the end of the Sporting game. But just general chaos. Obviously, I went to Newcastle. It was a bit of a weird one because it was, I mean, we won 3-0 at home in the Champions League, and that hasn't happened in my lifetime, particularly often. But it just seemed quite straightforward. Like, the first goal was important. Benfica were competitive for a little bit. The winger had a good game. Ladder with the post. First goal was crucial. And after that, Jose Mourinho said it, Premier League power just made a difference. The difference between the Premier League and the Portuguese League was there to see there. And the Premier League teams have flexed their muscles this week. Tottenham were the only one. Tottenham 0-0 in Monaco. But we scored 3 without conceding. Chelsea 5, Liverpool 5, Arsenal 4, and Manchester City won 2-0. So how much Champions League did you get across, Barry? Anything? Nothing?
I watched our game last night, and that was it. I've been a bit too busy the night, so I didn't get to watch anything. But yeah, I thought first half was fairly sort of, they could easily have scored in the first half, Benfica. And then, as you say, first goal very important, and second half could have been 5 or 6 in the end, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely could. Yeah, enjoyed it. We'll
picks wise, I don't know. Okay, I mean, well, I'll say
two next bars. We get to the picks. I just need to shout out the NBA gambling podcast. NBA started last night, I think, was opening night. So tune into the NBA gambling podcast wherever you get those. Yeah, go on then, Baz. Take us through your Champions League.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, 2-2, but obviously the Arsenal one was a spectacular loser because I took the handicap, Atletico Madrid +1, and actually for 40 minutes it was looking all right. It was 0-0. But obviously that unravelled quite quickly and Arsenal ended up putting them to bed comfortably. The Inter Milan one was just an absolute gimme, wasn't it? Like, I took Inter.
We mentioned the ladder as well, didn't we? We did say, if you want to go up the ladder, go up the ladder. Because USG were just dog shit against us. Luckily, they'll still be dog shit next time round so we can get them back on side. Like, but 7-4,
you could have had anything, couldn't you? I took Inter and the overs. You could have had Inter to win to 0. You could have had Inter on the handicap. And all of the form led into all of those picks because Inter haven't conceded yet. USG were garbage against Newcastle, but yeah, that one was easy. Tonight, again, mixed bag. So I took the Liverpool and overs, which obviously came good, and the other one was the Marseille one. Again,
red card, Baz, you were chinned. You were absolutely
all I needed was another goal. I had Marseille over 1.5 team total. So cruising early on, early goal, and then red card. You think you're in trouble straight away. So yeah, 2-2.
I did really well. 3 out of 4, Baz. 3 3/4 units returned because there were nice prices. Barcelona to win and both teams to score. Finished 6-1. But Barcelona were never going to keep a clean sheet. Olympiacos had several decent chances. Goal disallowed. Then they got the penalty straight after. So the goal was a penalty, but they deserved the goal. That was a great pick. the Inter Milan handicap you just mentioned. And then a pick that Frank's talking about was Dortmund. Great again, effortless 4-2 win in Copenhagen. But they were 9-10 at one point. Dortmund went off at 7-10. There was a lot of money around for Dortmund. So people were moving lines roundabout. So yeah, and the one I got wrong, as silly as it sounds, Barry, Napoli got beat 6-2. But I feel like I was a bit unlucky. I like, if you ever had a team lose by 4 goals, and I'm claiming bad luck, because they were 1-0 up, and then they score a ridiculous own goal, and then get a red card. Thinking, oh, for fuck, like the red cards, what's going on? Like the Champions League, we have to factor them in next time round as well. And then it just went a little bit nuts after that. But at 1-0, like I say, tonight, Marseille were winning. Napoli were winning. So, yeah, I wasn't a kick in the arse of stuff. But, yeah, way ahead. And, like I say, I think we handicapped most of the games pretty well. In nothing we've seen here is going to put you off making a bet in the next Champions League match day. You kind of got your licking your lips to see what the next round of fixtures are. MyBookie.ag is one of our sponsors here. Your place to bet on football and everything else. The motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Head to MyBookie.ag. Promo code is PLGP for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. MyBookie.ag. Promo code PLGP. And we're brought to you by Novig, is America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig is available in over 35 states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use the promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. Right, okay. Barry is in a rush, so we'll crack on with some Premier League picks. I will remind you to enter our prediction league, or if you have already entered, get your predictions in. There's some people who keep forgetting. Predictaddict.co.uk with the league code 43445. We're going to shout out this week's winner, Barry. Is that what you're laughing at? What are you laughing at, Baz?
I laugh at the fact you come on every week and say, I'm going to remind people to do their Predict Addict. And as you say that, I open up Predict Addict and make my picks.
Okay. Yeah,
because
there you go.
I would never remember. So I'm literally doing it, and I've done it for the last 4 weeks. During the episode, as soon as you say it, I'll open it up and off I go.
Which, Barry, demonstrates the point in me saying it. The week 8 winner, Barry, was a certain Miss Betty Bamford. So I'd like to, all you, our demographic of entirely middle-aged white men in this chat, I'd just like to congratulate you all on getting beat by a 15-year-old girl. So she won the week, so well done, Bet. I told her she was absolutely buzzing. She twerked for a considerable length of time at that news. So she won the week. Cameron Burke still leads overall, 5-point lead to Chris Swain. My mate Holmesy's crept up into 3rd place, tied with me. And then tied 4th, we have Joe Dollar, Bob Bamford, Ryan Evans, and Cree. Barry is all the way down in 17th. You might as well not bother at this point, Buzz. So get your picks in, monthly prizes, etc. We will start with Friday night football, 8 o'clock kickoff, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Leeds United take on West Ham United. Leeds are 5-6, -120. The draw is 12-5, plus 240. West Ham are Burlington Bertie, 130, plus 333. 2 things in play here for me. West Ham were in complete auto fade. They were absolutely appalling against Brentford on Monday, like dreadful. We live watched a lot of it, didn't we, the second half? But also, back in Leeds at 5-6 doesn't seem like a long-term good idea either. Leeds lost 2 at home. The 2-0 defeat at Burnley isn't great form. But the 2-2 home draw with Bournemouth is all right. I thought they played quite well against Tottenham last week. It was a wide open game. They ended up getting touched off 2-1. We could have gone either way. Things were just strange. Things were afoot at West Ham on Monday. The team selection was incredibly peculiar from Nuno I saw some of the West Ham fans. Once I'd Googled it, once I'd Twittered it once, the algorithm was fucking non-stop West Ham for about 36 hours, just questioning the selection. And that tells me Nuno doesn't really know what's going on. It's hard to get that eye test out of my head from Monday because West Ham were truly, truly abysmal. So it might not be a long-term strategy, but I don't need it to be. I just need it to pay off on Friday. Leeds have been all right. I'm going to give them a shot. West Ham are in auto feed. I'll take Leeds outright, 5-6, -120.
I'm pleased you said you're going to give Leeds a shot. I'm going to give them loads of shots. Nuno has failed to get anything out of them so far, really, hasn't he? Continued to stink the place out on Monday in defeat to Brentford. No win in the last 5 now, and no goals scored in the last couple either. Under 2.5 hit in the last 3 games for West Ham. The only positive for them is actually their away form has been better than their home form. All 4 of their points so far have come away from home. They haven't picked up anything at home. And Leeds they've just lost back-to-back games, which leaves them with just 1 win in the last 7. But they have lost only once at home in their 4 games. I always sort of think Leeds will be a tough team to beat at home. 1 win over Everton and 2 decent draws. You've mentioned there. Bournemouth was a decent draw. Newcastle, the other one. Neither teams inspire me. The defeat to Burnley was a poor result for Leeds last week. And ultimately, that sort of pushed me off taking them at 5-6. But hard to make a case for either of these teams at the moment. So I started off with a dive into the props market. Leeds shots, loads of them, is where I've ended up. Over 16.5 Leeds shots. West Ham have given up 20 in each of their last 2 games. And Leeds have hit 19 or more twice in the last 3 as well. So there was plenty of form on both sides that suggests they can get to this line. So the pick, not my favourite by any stretch. Bit of a cop-out, but I've gone for Leeds shots, total shots, over 16.5 at 10-11.
Okay, thank you. There is no early kickoff on Saturday. And only 2 3 o'clocks on Saturday afternoon. The first of which is Chelsea taking on Sunderland. Chelsea are 2-5, -250. 15-4, the draw, +375. Sunderland, 6-1 dogs, Baz.
Yeah, I still don't think Sunderland have really been tested yet, so not getting carried away with their current position or points tally. They've played all of the bottom 4 sides in their first 8 league games. And their toughest game so far was probably Man United away, where they felt the defeat quite comfortably in the end. They have only lost twice, but both of them came away from home. And I think this one could be fairly straightforward for Chelsea. We've seen another good result for Chelsea tonight. Chelsea's home form's been decent enough. They've just beaten Liverpool and Benfica. The only defeat at home came as a result of their ill discipline once again against Brighton, where they took the lead, got a man sent off, and then lost it late on. I think Chelsea will be too good for this lot, but then it's finding the bet, isn't it? I'm going to take Chelsea for a clean sheet. They've had 3 in their last 5 home games, and Sunderland's 2 defeats both came with them failing to score. So my pick here, I do like Chelsea. Where do you go? And for me, it's Chelsea win 0, 6-5.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I've had the goal show on tonight while I've been watching Lisbon, Marseille. Chelsea have just got so many players. It's ridiculous. Like Megan Bobber played like a Champions League fantasy league. We had Neto tonight, and he get near the pitch. And at the time, I didn't know he wasn't playing. So the first goal I'm looking, isn't it? It's Gooey. Like a couple of Gooey was really on loan somewhere else recently.
Sunderland,
and then it's
Sunderland.
They get a penalty and Fernandez scores it. Then they get a penalty and Estevao scores it. And then Tyreek George, who's doing anything with Tyreek George? You forget the list of players is absolutely endless. They were better second half against Forest last week when they warmed up a little bit and brought on some of their important players. Still not very consistent, but I do want to make something if Sunderland overperforming. They've played the worst 6 teams in the league, Baz. And they lost 2-0 away at Burnley in Man United. Chelsea have scored 5 again tonight. They knocked off Liverpool last time. Chelsea on the handicap. Similar to you, it was finding the right bet. So you've gone Chelsea to 0. I've taken Chelsea on the handicap. 15-13 plus 115 is the pick. Harry, the Chelsea fan, has gone Chelsea 3-0, which we all win. Chelsea cover the handicap. They win to 0. So well done, Harry. You have correctly predicted the right result. The second 3 o'clock on Saturday is a game I will be at. Newcastle United taking on Fulham. Newcastle 3-5, minus 166. 29-10 the draw, plus 290. Fulham 17-4, plus 425. Newcastle are proving very tricky to handicap, aren't they? Because they were dog shit last week. And then they came out on Tuesday night in the Champions League and ran out comfortable 3-0 winners against Benfica. And it is that home form. We always feel a bit better handicapping them at home because that's when we do have this decent record. That win against Benfica was another window into how good they should be if they find any kind of consistency. That's all they need to do is put a run together. We thought they'd done it when we went back-to-back against USG and then Forest. And then we shit the bed away at Brighton. So they do need to put a run together. Fulham have lost 3 in a row in fairly decent comparison games. Villa, Bournemouth and Arsenal. So 3 top 10 Premier League teams, which is where Newcastle should end up. Their only 2 wins have come at home. Now, I have been taking Newcastle on the unders recently, but I think in this spot, we did look a little bit better last night. We rested Tonali, our best player didn't play. Joe Linton should come back in. And we've got Alanga possibly to come in. They looked livelier. Gordon was excellent. Newcastle do score more goals at home. And Fulham might even join in with a goal. So I'm just going to stick with the over 2.5 goals. Bars at 9-10, minus 111.
Yeah, I thought it felt like a good time for Newcastle to be coming up against Fulham. Fulham have come into this off the back of 3 straight defeats, picked up only 1 point away from home all season. And Newcastle's struggles have mainly been away from home. Saying that, they've lost 3 home games already this season, but against 3 top sides, losing to Liverpool, Arsenal and Barcelona, and by just a single goal in each of them. So despite Newcastle's inconsistent form this season so far, I do feel quite happy taking them here. Newcastle's last 3 wins at home all came by 2 or more goals. Fulham's last 3 games away from home have all saw them lose by 2 goals. So Newcastle handicap was the pick for me. Newcastle Asian handicap here, -1. So a 1-goal win would be a push. But I think Newcastle will win by a couple here. I'll take Newcastle -1, Asian handicap, 11-10.
Just noticed on the old telly there, Baz, that South Shields are on Sunday morning in the FA Cup against Shrewsbury Town. South Shields down the just down the road from us, so that'll be fun. Man United take on Brighton and Hove Albion. This is a 5:30 tea time kickoff, 12:30 Eastern time. Man United even money. Brighton 27-10 plus 270. No, the draw 27-10 plus 270. Brighton 12-5 plus 240. Barry.
Yeah, it's time to proceed with caution a little bit for me now, where Man United are. 2 wins in a row, 3 wins in the last 4, and also won 3 straight home games now. So the auto fade of Man United is no longer the way to go for the time being. That said, they do have an absolutely terrible record against Brighton. It's worse than our record against them. Brighton have won the last 6 of the last 7 head-to-heads. Man United won 1, Brighton 6. So plenty of reason to keep Brighton on your side. They won both of these ties last year. So I did want to factor them in a bit. 6 of the last 7 Man United games went over 2.5 goals. 5 of the 7 saw both teams to score. And Brighton have just seen both teams to score in 6 straight league games now. It was a pick I took for Brighton last week against Newcastle. Over 2.5 and both teams to score. And I'm just going to ride that one again. I think Brighton will get on the score sheet. Man United might go and get another win. But the pick for me, over 2.5, both to score between Brighton and Man United and Brighton, 4-5.
Jason has gone with the Brighton double chance at 8-11. I mean, are Man United any good is the big question here. Betty's just come through. By the way, our weekly winner of Predict Addicts has just won. I said out loud there, are Man United any good? And she just wagged her finger at me. So if you want to listen to this week's weekly winner, Man United aren't any good. And I tend to agree with her. Back-to-back wins against Sunderland and then at Liverpool. Liverpool were in a funk. Man United scored after 20 seconds and then in the 94th minute. They did all right. They did better. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's wetting their niggers because Man United, for once, weren't dog shit. That's what you can say about it. They had a little plan and it worked. Like, stop them taking throw-ins. well done. But if you're asking me to bet on them, like, being back, I'm not. I can't do it. Not at even money. It's insane. And Brighton are dangerous and just the kind of team to cause them all sorts of problems. They're unbeaten in the last 4. They've beaten Chelsea and Newcastle in that time. Both teams that are better than Manchester United, Chelsea and Newcastle, I would offer. This is a big old letdown spot here. I was buzzing when Man United won last week, just because I knew I would get to fade them this week. So I'm doing it. Brighton are 12-5 plus 240, Barry. Next up, there's a Saturday night game here, which is Brentford against Liverpool. Brentford drifted a little bit. They were 3-1. They're now 16-5 plus 320. The draw is Burlington, Bertie 100-30. Liverpool are 7-10, minus 142. Liverpool eased past Frankfurt 5-1 this evening. We've talked about Frankfurt. It's chaos every week. It's absolute chaos. You get a minimum of 6 goals in their games. So I don't really know what to read into that. Liverpool were 1-0 down. They looked a lot better when the new lad went off and they brought some of their other players on. The recent impressions of both are that Brentford have been good and Liverpool have been bad. But that's hard, makes it hard for you to pull the trigger of Brentford at 3-1. Brentford have been competitive, but inconsistent. So as much as it's tempting to take the form team at a big price, I think we have to look at the goals angle. 5 of Brentford's 8, both teams to score over 2.5. 6 of Liverpool's 8, both teams to score over 2.5, including the last 3 in the league. And you can add on another one in Frankfurt tonight. Both teams to score over 2.5. It's 4-5, minus 125. But
that's a nice, easy one. I kept it simple. I thought Liverpool might possibly get back to win ways in the league this week, but you couldn't back them with much confidence. And the one thing you can be confident in is they fail to keep a clean sheet pretty much every week. 7 games in a row now without a clean sheet. Liverpool might win it, but it would come as no surprise if they need to score 2 goals to do so. So exactly the same pick. Both teams to score over 2.5 goals, 4-5. Right.
Yes! Well done, Barry. The ray gun is out for the team, right? Michael, just harking back to that Brighton game, Michael, who is he our props man? I think that's building his part up a little bit, isn't it? I think he got 2 saves picks right 2 years ago, and we've had him labelled ever since. Michael's got Brighton corners over 4.5. Corners at 6-5. They had 8 away at Wolves, 7 away at Chelsea, and 8 at home to Newcastle. So that is your angle in for that Brighton Man United game. Well done, Michael. Thank you very much. We'll move on to Sunday after I've let you know about Underdog, a great place to play fantasy pick'em. You can win up to 500 times your entry. Just pick higher or lower on your favourite player's stats, available for tons of sports. Brand new offer is play $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code PLGP. That is Underdog, bonus code PLGP. And Rhythm, crushing it in college football and NFL with picks and props. Weekly cash prizes for getting up the leaderboard. You can win $1,000 there. Promo code is SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm, use the promo code SGPN25. Tons of stuff happening on Sunday. We've got 4 2 o'clock kickoffs, first of which is Arsenal taking on Crystal Palace. Arsenal 2-5, minus 250. 7-2 the draw, plus 350. And Crystal Palace are at 6-1. Barry?
Yeah, 6 straight wins for Arsenal now and 9 games unbeaten. 4 clean sheets in a row as well. And 7 clean sheets in the last 9 now for Arsenal. Low scoring's actually been a way of backing them. Lots of 2-0s in the form line. But Palace recent form flies in the face of that. They've conceded 5 in the last 2 games and went over 2.5 goals in 4 straight league games. So plenty of goals in the Palace side of things. We saw that 3-3 last week as well. Palace, with the Thursday night action, pushes me towards Arsenal here as well as the Palace sort of drop off in the last couple of weeks. I find myself actually on this slate favouring quite a few of these short price home favourites this week. Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle. And then it's just scraping around trying to find the right bet. On this occasion, I'm going to take Arsenal to score in both halves. Just a bit of vulnerability from Palace recently, and Arsenal hitting 4 last night against Atletico helps a little bit. A bit of confidence for Gyökeres coming up with 2 goals last night. So yeah, for a pick for me, I do like Arsenal. I'm going to take them to score in both halves at 6-5.
Yeah, I don't know if Arsenal unlocked a new level last night against Atletico Madrid, because that 4-0 win very much flies against the recent handicapping trend that we have. The clean sheets you can't argue with. Like, they're absolutely relentless at keeping teams out. It is hard to fade them with a team that solid defensively. I'm being a bit kinder to Palace than you. You talked about a recent drop-off. They should have beaten Everton. They were better than them. They were 1-0 up, missed chances. And then they did well last week to come back from 2 goals down against a very good Bournemouth team to knock 3 goals in. The Thursday night is a little bit of a concern. 4 games in a row for Palace, both teams to score in over 2.5. But that long unbeaten run is not a distant memory, and I don't think they've been that bad. I don't see them getting stuffed. So I'm going to give Palace +1 a try on the Asian. Palace +1 is 15-13 +115.
I mean, I've tried that 2 weeks in a row with Arsenal, Malcolm, and I've got stuffed 2 weeks in a row with a 2-0 and a 4-0. So that's why I didn't go the same way.
But you're a terrible judge. Joe Dollar wants Gyökeres to score with his bollocks. So that's his pick. Declan Rice assist is what Michael's gone for. 2 o'clock, Aston Villa take on Manchester City. Aston Villa are 31-10 +310. The draw 13-5 +260. Manchester City 17-20 -117. Aston Villa have made a bit of a recovery here, kind of below the radar. 3 wins in a row, 2 of which were at home. All 3 wins were both teams to score and over 2.5. Good win at Tottenham last week. It was a pretty even game. That could have gone anyway. Villa hung in when they were 1-0 down, and then eventually got the equaliser and won it late on. But City's current form is very, very good, and this is a tempting price to get Manchester City. 4 wins and a draw in the last 5. The draw was against Arsenal, so there's nothing wrong with that form. Good win in the Champions League. 2 extra days rest is a factor as well. Villa play Thursday night in the Europa League. City played on Tuesday. Fucking Haaland scoring at least 1 goal a week, if not more. So you've got to add them on. So City are 2-0 up before you start doing anything else. I'm just going to take a plain old City money line, Baz, 17-20 -117.
Thought it might have ended up the same way there, but just a slight different pick. But for all the same reasons, City are just in good form. Villa obviously have had a bit of a turnaround recently, but this is a bit of a tougher game than they've faced in that run. And as you say, that Haaland thing, Haaland is pretty much guaranteed 1, and most weeks it's 2. I've gone for the City team total. So I'm going to take City to score 2 or more at a slightly shorter price of 8-11.
Okay, don't mind that, Baz. 2 o'clock, Bournemouth take on Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth 7-10 -142. The draw is 3-1. Nottingham Forest under new management are 7-2 +350. Barry, what is the prevailing thoughts in your Nottinghamshire area about Sean Dyche?
Tricky one, isn't it? Spoke to a friend of mine who was a Forest fan last night, and he's just of the opinion it's what they need at this point, having gone full circle and basically just reset themselves back to where they were 12 months ago. It's new manager. It's proceed with caution very much, isn't it? If Postecoglou was here, it would be far more straightforward. And actually, I've probably ended up on a similar pick to what I would have done. I did laugh this week when Forest came out in their statement announcing Dyche, saying that he comes in with a defensive mentality that suits the current playing squad.
Yeah.
So what was Ange Postecoglou all about?
Yeah.
Did he not look at what the playing squad were capable of when they appointed him? That was a bit ridiculous. It's right, though. He might be able to set them up a bit more defensively minded and keep things tight for a bit. But I think it'll certainly be a test for them. Bournemouth scored 8 in the last 3 games. As I say, it's possibly a game to proceed cautiously. Probably one you'd want to avoid altogether, but you won't obviously stop us making a pick on every game. Bournemouth have had goals lately. They've scored 2 or more in 4 of the last 5. Forest have conceded 2 or more in 7 of the last 9. And I think they've conceded 5 times out of those last 9 as well, Forest. It is a risky one because we do expect them to be a bit less open here than they would have been had Ange still have been here. But Bournemouth are good enough anyway. They put 3 past Palace and Fulham. They put 2 past Brighton and Leeds. There's no reason they can't get a couple here. At home as well. Bournemouth team total over 1.5 at 8-11.
You overcomplicated that wildly, Barry. The fact is, Bournemouth are good and Forest aren't. I pretty much stopped there. Like, it's going to be a money line pick of Bournemouth at 7-10, right on the edge, minus 142. But I don't give a fuck about any new manager bounce. I certainly don't give a shit about Sean Dyche. He's got no business being back in the Premier League, Barry. I'm not having it. He should be consigned to history, like Pret-a-Manger and Lily Allen LPs. It's just something to reflect on. You know what I mean?
Not a thing.
No, when was the last time you went?
Oh,
Sean Dyche had a job.
It's not my thing.
Well, there you go. Exactly. Sean Dyche isn't my thing. And as much as I complain about like that Brighton bloke in his funny little mohair, camel-coloured outfits, just playing until someone wins, that's much preferable to whatever Dyche is doing. Even today's press conference was annoying us. It's utter woke madness the other way around. I'm not having it. It's skinny, but listen, just take the win and move on. That's all we have to do here, is take the win and move on. Stick Brighton in your rackers with whoever else you want and crack on with the rest of your life. Absolute piece of piss. Bournemouth 7-10, minus 142. Joe Dollar, Bournemouth on the handicap. And we've got Semenyo anytime for Michael Roberts. Semenyo's shots have been absolutely incredible. So if you want a Semenyo shots ladder. Next up, the penultimate game on the card is Wolverhampton Wanderers against Burnley. Wolves are 19-20, minus 105. The draw 23-10, plus 230. Burnley 16-5. Price is up, Baz.
Plus 320.
What?
Plus 320.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Plus 320. I had a little brain fart then. I don't know what the world record is for consecutive weeks picking Fulham and they lose, but I'm having a right go at it, Baz, because I'm going to try and add on again here.
Fulham aren't playing here. Do you mean?
Did I say Wolves?
Yeah.
That's because I've done it with Fulham at all until this week. Sorry. Picking Wolves every week and then watching them get beat. Wolves absolutely dominated the stats against Sunderland last week. If you remember, there was a goalkeeping mistake and then a 93rd minute stupid 20-yard own goal. They had more shots. They had more shots on target. They had 59% possession. The only thing they're missing is a goal. And they've got a couple of strikers. Munetzi I quite like in JSL as well. So it's coming, Baz. Burnley away from home, played 4, lost 4, conceded 13 in those 4. I think Wolves win, but actually, I prefer Wolves to score twice over them to win. Both things are going to happen. Wolves will win and will score 2. But Wolves to score 2 is a better price. 6-5 plus 120. I'm getting some odds against. So I'll take the Wolves team total, Baz.
Yeah, you can put the ray gun away for this one. I can't get behind Wolves. You can look at the stats all you want, but they don't win any games. They had a winnable game last week. They lost to Sunderland. They had a winnable game a few weeks earlier against Leeds. They lost to them. Burnley have faced both Leeds and Sunderland and won 2-0 each time. That's a good enough comparison for me and a reason to fancy a bit of Burnley here. The other way into it for me goes against Joe's pick as well, because I thought the unders might possibly have been a way in, but that was a bit short. You've got to have one underdog on your card, and Burnley are the ones for me. Burnley are going to beat Wolves here, 16-5. Burnley are the winners.
I'll put the ray gun right away for that then, Barry. Before we move on, kick off the board game that's got the nation talking. If you remember, Barry has a 2-0 lead, slotted that penalty in the pro rata 42nd minute to go in 2-0. It's still half-time. Anyone who was hoping for more of that. Half-time. We'll be back once the second half gets underway there. Final game. Sunday afternoon, 4:30 kickoff, 11:30 Eastern time, is Everton taking on Tottenham Hotspur. Everton 27-20 plus 135. 23-10 the draw plus 230. Tottenham 2-1, Baz.
Yeah, I mean, Tottenham, I don't know what to make of them at the minute, really. They win some, lose some, draw some, and don't really, there's nothing stand out about any of their performances. And Everton are still unbeaten in the new stadium, only conceded twice in 5 games as well. So I think you have to factor Everton in here. Spurs aren't pulling up any trees, only 1 win in 4 now. And that's from quite a straightforward run they had. They are unbeaten away from home. So, factor that in a little bit. I just think it's going to be a very tight game. Both teams have drawn 2 of their last 4 league games. And that's where I've ended up. I finish off with a draw. Everton Spurs. Michael's mentioned Malcolm's won one of the week. Is he talking about this game or was that the previous one?
I thought he was talking about the Wolves match, maybe.
Might have been, yeah. But anyway, this has got potential 1-1 all over it. Everton v Spurs, draw 23-10.
I'm not having Everton, Baz. They're still rubbish. They've 1 win in 5. And there are certain spots I'll get amongst them. But I can't bet them as favourites against the top half team. It's just not a thing. The home win against Palace was lucky. Tottenham, funny game tonight. To be fair, Monaco had a shit ton of chances. Monaco probably should have put them away tonight. They're very inconsistent, but they've got 4 wins in 8, including 3 wins and a draw in the 4 away games. In those 4 away games, Barry, they've scored 2-2, 3-2. And that's including 2 of those games came at Brighton and Man City. So it's not like they've just bullied the dog shit teams as well. So I think they can score 2 again. It's a big price. It's a form line. They've covered 4 out of 4. Or they've hit that bet 4 out of 4. So it's 13-8 plus 162. I think it's a little bit of value. So I'm going to take the Tottenham team total over 1.5, 13-8 plus 162. Harry's gone for the Jordan Pickford yellow card. Is that time wasting? The 84th minute time wasting yellow card. That's it. All 10 games in the hutch, Barry. We're making good time here, so you can get yourself to bed, son.
Get me head down, aye.
Exotics. You lead us off for a change, Baz.
Well, I'm going to start off then with City to score 2 or more is going to be my lock. I do like City to beat Villa. 2 or more. I'll get both of those. My underdog's going to be Burnley. Burnley are going to beat Wolves. And I said I like some of those home favourites. Newcastle, Arsenal, Chelsea comes in at around 9-4. That's going to be my corned beef pie acca. And then I looked at the dogs again for my Steak and Stilton acca. Steak and Stilton's going to be 2 away dogs. West Ham to beat Leeds. And Burnley to beat Wolves. I'm going to treble that up with Man City. 33-1 treble, 3 away wins there. West Ham, Burnley and City. It's a bit ambitious. Like scorer, there's only one man who looks up to it at Liverpool at the moment. It's Cody Gakpo. 2-1 anytime scorer, Gakpo. Big price at 15-2 first or last. Gakpo is the scorer. And that's me done.
Okay. My lock, same game, Baz. I'm taking Man City. Just on the money line, 17-20, minus 117. My underdog, I'll give an honourable mention to Tottenham. I think they can knock Everton over at 2-1. But I'm going to take Brighton. KNL, we've got some short memories here, man. You get one fluky win. They've been dog shit for 3 years. Brighton will absolutely tough them up here. Brighton 12-5 plus 240. Corned beef pie accumulator is at over 2.5 goals treble at Chelsea, Brentford, and Manchester United. That pays 31-10. That is plus 316. I priced that up as. Steak and Stilton, team totals here, Baz. Leeds to score 2 or more. Brighton to score 2 or more. Wolves to score 2 or more. Tottenham to score 2 or more. Comes in at 25-1. We've seen plenty of goals this week. And my goal scorer is going to be Pedro Neto. I just mentioned you got no chance picking Chelsea players. I've just picked one. He didn't play tonight. 6-1 first and last. 7-4 anytime goal scorer. Sunderland are shite, let's not forget. And finally, the play from Data Dave, Barry. I spoke to Data Dave again. Our Get to Know Data Dave section. I asked him, Barry, where he last went on holiday. Data Dave, do you want to have a guess?
Peru.
No. It was closer to home, actually. He went to Lisbon. Coincidental, because I was researching Lisbon at the time for this commentary tonight, so I think the bone idle fucker is just. But he did say he bought a vintage Rui Costa shirt and brought that back with him, which was a nice touch. His pick, Barry, I might have jinxed him here. He certainly got against you. Dave's pick, he is 7-1 on the season, can we add? Wolves on the money line. Loves it. Burnley, he cites, Barry, Burnley's 2.1 expected GA. So an XG against of 2.1 goals per game for Burnley. So he wants Wolves at 19-20. So he's picked a player that I've picked. And I think, Bads,
it's a big old price for Data Dave, that.
That is a big price for Data Dave. Yeah, he's been very much living in the 7 to 10 envelope, if there's such a thing recently. Baz, is there anything you want to tell the people? Just tell us again what you're doing this weekend and in what orders, just so I can keep up.
I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock. I'm going to drive to Stansted and probably find out my flight's being cancelled, because every time I look at the weather, the amount of wind is increasing. Like, it's currently forecast to be 50-mile-an-hour winds at 10 o'clock when I'm about to fly. So I'm concerned. But should everything go well, I will fly into Vienna tomorrow. We'll go and watch the K's at a tiny little venue that holds about 300 people. So the kids are very excited for that. And then we're going to go to Budapest, mainly to Budapest, but we're going to stop off in Bratislava on the way. We're going to have a night in Bratislava and then 3 nights in Budapest.
Did you see the Newcastle's tifo last night?
I did, yeah.
Budapest.
Oh, that I.
Oh, that was exciting. Right, okay then. Well, have a lovely time, Barry.
Sure I will.
Tell us what you ate and drank, mainly, and send some photographs and stuff like that. We'll be back, fuck knows when.
I don't know. I'll have my laptop with us, so we've got an apartment there with internet, so I might be fine to knock one out while we're over there. A podcast.
Steady on a family show, Baz. It's the League Cup next week, isn't it? EFL Cup midweek. Yeah. So we'll come back. We'll make some picks for that next week. Thanks, everybody who joined us. We very much appreciate it. I think that's all the crap we need for this week. Barry wants to go to bed. So good luck with all your bets. And we'll see you down the road. Cheers.